Welcome to the Circle of Love and Light. I'm your host, Dr. Jane Mountrose, and I'm here today with my very special friend and guest, Barbara May Clark, and she calls herself Babs. If you wonder if I start calling her Babs and you wonder who she's talking about. Anyhow, Babs actually is a minister with Awakenings Institute, which is really wonderful, and much more. We're both actually coach healers, guides who love to help people to reach into the realms of spirit and open more to love and light for ourselves and for our troubled world too, which is why we're here today. So this week we're going to reflect on a really profound and I think wonderful, it can be a lighter topic than I think many people make it, which is opening to the blessings of the moment. I know that there were times in my life when I thought, oh, it's so hard to try to be in the moment, like you have to try to be in the moment. And I think we can frame it in a different way here. It really is one of the most important things any of us can do to take control of ourselves and our lives. And as I mentioned, we can do it in ways that may be different than you've thought before. So I think we'll have a really interesting discussion today about this. The challenge, of course, is always about getting there into that timeless place of connectedness with life. So we'll see where this takes us. It's always, that's one of the things I love about the circle. It's always a mystery. We don't have anything particular planned, just the topic, and then we see where it takes us. So maybe we'll go to the wisdom of an archangel or an ascended master, and definitely we'll have a special meditation, which will reveal itself during our discussion. It all comes out of that. So as always, we want to thank you for joining us and being emissaries of love and light for the world. The circle is here every week at this time to light up our lives, to help each and every one of us to heal and grow and to be beacons of light for the world. So with that, I want to remind you, if you're with us live, to please say hello and tell us where you're from if you're new. Also, feel free to share your comments, questions, anything that you're inspired to share in the comments. I see already Sharon Williamson's here. Hi, Sharon. Nice to see you. And one more thing, actually, we do this every time. We just take a few nice breaths to bring ourselves together in this moment and to be more present to our time together. So it's an example that you can follow and use. And what I've realized is as we do this, just taking really beautiful breaths, like the most amazing breath you can imagine. And as you exhale, release any tension or incoherent energy that you might sense around you. Focusing on your body. And just a few breaths like this, which can be anything you want. You can breathe in miracles or hope or peace, whatever is inspiring to you in the moment. Just breathe that in. And one more. And just notice how you feel in your body in the moment now compared with before. I'm amazed how much of a difference just a few nice breaths can make. Just intentionally bringing yourself to the moment. It actually works.
Amazing.
So with that, I'd like to turn to you, Babs, and ask you to share a little bit about your perspective on this. I know it's an important thing to you.
Yeah, it is. It's like one of the things but it's interesting. What I want to say is it's one of the things I've been trying to work on, but then just like you introduced, it's like it's not necessarily about working on it. There's things we can do, but it's more for me, it's like allowing this present moment to be and just when we do that breath, I can feel and I can sense just this I don't know if it's joy or peace coming over me, and it's just being right here, right now. I don't have to be anything else. I don't have to do anything else. It's
Right.
there's no blocks to that love. There's nothing. It's just the beauty and the presence of this one moment. Um,
Hmm.
but then my mind starts spinning sometimes, and that's when it gets caught up and like starts spinning. Oh, I have to do this. I have to do that. You know, it's that little rabbit that goes on in there.
Right. Yeah,
Um,
I know it.
yeah,
Who
yeah, but
doesn't, right?
who doesn't? Yeah, and it's like even like when pretty much every morning I do a walking meditation, and the hope for that time for me is just to be in that moment, to be with each step, to be with each tree, with each grass, each person who walks, and instead of the to-dos in my mind and stuff.
Right.
Um, so and again, it's not like you were saying, it's not this heavy thing that we have to like be in this present moment. I have to force myself to be in
Right. It
this
used to
present
be for
moment.
me like,
It's yeah, and it is still sometimes for me, but I catch myself a little sooner, which is the good thing.
hmm.
And it's just this new way of being with time, this new way of being, and so much of it always comes down to trusting the universe, God, creator, whatever you call it, that if I'm not spinning about things, that it's okay. I can be in this moment. I don't have to control the future. I don't have to, that we could actually control the future, you know. Um,
Right.
yeah, this place of trust, it's trusting that when that moment comes, I will know what the next thing to do is. And it's not like we don't, when it comes to the moment to plan, we can take those moments to plan too, but it's not that we're
Right.
living in the future. We're living in the now. And being, I think it's that for me, it's like I'm much more connected to source when I
Of
am in
course.
the moment. When I'm in the,
Yeah.
that's when I feel the most connected to source.
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah. I sometimes think of it like I have a choice. There's moment and there's momentum.
Yes. Yeah.
and and I think that the reality is when we're in a momentum, we don't really exist on a soul level. We're just drawn away by something, something in the future, something in the past, whatever it is. And I really do feel for myself, I've chosen to frame the spiritual practices that I do and the way I approach things like this, like breathing and being in the moment, is I have the choice. I can make this the most magical thing possible, like breathe in magic. If that appeals to you, it may not be what appeals to you, whatever it is, magic, miracles, mystery. Those are, I like those. There are a lot of M's that I like. But it could be for you, it could be peace. It could be joy. It could be flow. And I do think actually a flow state is a state where you're in the moment, just in the flow with the divine.
Yeah.
And that's a beautiful thing. Just breathing in flow, this miraculous flow of the divine,
Yeah. Yeah. I do
because
like,
this is all available to us. And then if you ask your rational mind, like, do you like this better or do you like that kind of stress thing that you go through better?
yeah.
And even the rational mind will admit it. And part of it is getting the mind, getting our brain in, I guess, in the same space, in sync, the mind and the heart in sync, so that
Yeah.
we're sure that we feel it's easy to go in this direction because every part of us agrees that
Yes.
this makes much more sense than this whole thing of struggle and trying to decide on things that we can't really possibly solve, and all of those things that really, when you come right down to it, don't serve any purpose at all.
Yeah. Very true. I like that thought about the moment or momentum. Um, and then just trying to not trying again. See it, it's still so much part of my like
Allowing.
allowing and it's also that's what I recognize sometimes that the language that we use and the language
Hmm.
that I use has power. So
Oh,
I
it
keep
does.
working on changing that, trying to allowing or to just being. uh,
Or opening the
opening is a good
title
word.
I
Yes,
put in for this was
yes,
opening to the blessings of the moment. It's like,
exactly.
wow, this is an opportunity.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, yeah, I love that opening, being present, being like open to what is, allowing this moment. Um,
Hmm.
makes me think of I can't remember her name, but this is a beautiful poem. It's called Welcome, and the first line of it is, it says, that I welcome everything in this present moment. So it's
Right.
just like, and I used to have one of my mantras was, welcome, 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 and even for the hard things, welcome. Just
Hmm.
like, just that same word, welcome. This is the one little life we get to live, at least in this incarnation, or however you believe it. Um, but it's just, I get to experience this life. And when I'm stuck in my head, I'm not experiencing this life. I'm not experiencing what's happening, because I'm just experiencing the stories I'm telling myself about what's happening, instead of
Hmm.
being with the reality, even the hard things. I mean, one of the things Michael Singer talks about, he talks about, like, would you rather go on a hiking trip with a person who's experienced rattlesnakes or who hasn't experienced rattlesnakes? So everything, even the hard things, experiencing like a rattlesnake or something like that. Um, isn't it isn't it better to have had that experience than not to have had that experience? Because you become a bigger and a greater person as we go
Hmm.
through these things. And I think that that's sometimes when I close, it's because I don't want to experience something. When I don't want to be in the moment, it's because it's like, oh, this is so hard.
Right. When
Oh,
it's just actually allowing yourself to be in a place that's easier.
yeah, yeah. And when I do open to that moment, um, even the hard things, I am able to somehow miraculously, it opens up to a place of love and peace, because the other one is just pushing it away. It's like pushing
Hmm.
that moment
Hmm.
away instead of opening into it. And I think when I open, that's when I find source
Hmm. Right. Well, and
experience.
if we define something as hard,
Yeah.
then there's that too.
Yeah.
One of the things that we also, or I also, the way I try to frame challenges is
Mhm.
that obstacles are opportunities. So if something difficult is emerging, if I can say, well, gee, this is an opportunity of some kind,
Yeah.
and look for what that opportunity is, that reframes it and allows me to
Yes.
be able to be present to it in a way that I wouldn't otherwise either. Because if we're afraid of what is going to happen, and it's kind of like so many people who are new to self awareness, if you talk to them about doing processes that reach deep into, you know, the unconscious, that can be fearful because they're afraid something bad is going to come out. When actually, what we recognize is that the things that we're avoiding actually are the illusions. It's
Mhm.
kind of like we have this illusion that there's something wrong with us, or the illusion that there's something to be afraid of,
Yeah.
when we can look at it in a different way. And that completely changes the situation.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, it's like, we don't recognize, like, I think you and Philip often talk about that we are divine beings, that we are that in our truest essence we are whole and we are complete. It's just all the blocks and all the things that we have that we've experienced, that we've blocked ourselves from that awareness, from that remembering of who we truly are. Um,
Right.
and
Right.
I think,
And then we just get caught up in the illusion. And I think that's another big thing, like just a big ball of whatever it's in itself, the mass consciousness program. We're so programmed from probably the moment we're even aware in the womb. And there is awareness even in the womb. But for all of these years, we're programmed to believe things that aren't true.
yeah,
And what we're hoping to do, I think, and wanting to do as we evolve spiritually, is to let go of all of that stuff and recognize what the real truth is.
yeah, yeah. I think that embrace who we truly are, like that core truth of who we are. I think in relationship to time, um, we move out of the present moment because we want to add something to ourselves. We want to achieve something. At least I could maybe talk for myself. I want to achieve something. I want to succeed
Right.
in something. I want to, because I'm forgetting that I'm whole and complete already in
Right.
this moment. Even with all my shiznits, I'm whole. I'm complete. Um,
You're
yes, there's stuff I
magnificent.
can.
Here you are.
All of us are magnificent, beautiful beings, but we
Right.
get, and we do have stuff we can let go of, that allows more of that light to shine,
Hmm.
um,
Right.
patterns and things like that. But that happens in this moment,
Hmm.
not in some
Right.
future moment. Even when the
Hmm.
future comes, that's going to be this moment. You know.
Hmm.
So,
And even that, we make the assumption that it has to be difficult. And there are, I think,
true,
from
true. Yeah.
my own experience, there are difficult challenges sometimes. There are things that traumas that I've had to look at that were difficult. And the awareness came at the right time and the healing came at the right time. A lot of it we can release fairly easily. And it makes me think, for the meditation today, also to do that to, and we use in the circle often, we use the violet flame
Hmm. Yes.
because you can make that choice every day. You could say, well, I want to release a little more of this mass consciousness programming. And you may be aware, like, I know I have this tendency to whatever, to feel like I need to be doing things faster because I'll never catch up or whatever it is. Violet flame it. And so we'll do that. That'll be great.
I like violet flaming.
But we do have
That's,
power, and we
yeah.
do have actually right now,
Mhm.
we have really powerful techniques that we can use.
Yes.
And that one it's effective with just about anything. So
Very true. Very, I do. Yeah, I love the violet flame. So
mhm.
yeah, that'll be beautiful.
um another thing I think everybody who watches the circle knows, and are people who know me know I use oracle cards a lot these days, and to receive insights about things, and to increase my awareness of things. And about a month ago, I should have looked it up. I didn't look it up before we started, but I did a meditation and I drew a card. Usually the inquiry that I have is something that would be of value for me today. So if say it was that, and I used a deck of cards, put them, called the Mystical Shaman Oracle, which actually is very good for reaching kind of a little deeper into the mysteries. And I received this card that has actually changed things for me quite a bit. It's called the Time Master. And I want to take a few moments to read everything that it said about it because it was so profound to me. And if you also relate to it, you can find this on the internet. I already located it this morning. So with each card in this deck, it has three parts: the essence, the invitation, and the medicine. And the essence says, time is a construct of the human mind through which life events are seen to flow in a straight line from past to future. This, however, is an illusion. At any given moment, you can see time in all its infinite potential, at once vast and all encompassing, then shrunken and finite. It all depends on perspective. The invitation says, when the time master visits you, he asks an important question. Will you break free from limited cause and effect thinking by moving beyond the linear illusion and welcoming the cyclic quality of time? You find yourself in a moment when the wheel of time turns and you're able to influence the past, thus changing the present and future simultaneously. I just want to take a moment on this. We we're living on a timeline. So based on where we are in this moment, we have a certain past and we have a certain future that is occurring. Like, say we're living in this present moment when we're being impacted. Well, for me, one of the most difficult ones was I was burned at the stake at one time. And I wasn't aware of it for the first 40 something years of my life, probably. So I was living with this fear left over from that was completely unconscious, that was affecting my present. And because of that, it was affecting my future. So by changing that, when I was able to clear that, my timeline changed. And what we want to do is have a timeline that is the most joyful and wonderful, the greatest timeline possible. Anyhow, it says, this is the true test of the time master. You're being invited to take back your power. So let go of the past and choose to step into your life. In this moment, you are all powerful. You are the time master. Anything is possible now. And the medicine says, sometimes it appears that you're running out of time. You worry you won't get what you need or want. Everything gets stuck like a log jam. This is only in your mind. Time expands and contracts according to your ability to be mindful and observant. Fully engaged in your now, it's time to release the story of the past. Equally, it's time to release your need to know the details of the future. All the treasure magically reveals itself when you remain relaxed and present to what is directly in front of you and nothing else. Then you realize you have all the time in the world. You will never run out of it.
It's beautiful.
And I found that really profound. I'm looking, I have two monitors here, so I'm looking at the other one to see what I did. It looks like I closed that. But I think if you go to Google and you put in Time Master Mystic Shaman Oracle, and then go to the images, you'll find that image. And you can click on it, and that actually shows the image, a really beautiful picture of the image. Actually, maybe I should do this.
Yeah,
I'll go there now and I can put the link in the chat.
Yeah, all you have to type in is mystical time master, and it mystical shaman oracles, and it pops. Yeah, there we go. I have it on my little phone here. Okay. Oh, he looks fun. He looks yeah, it's amazing.
And it is actually the person who created the deck actually has this page.
Wow. Yeah, so I have it on my phone, but you can't really see it.
See where now I'm out of my chat.
Uh-oh.
Here we are. I'm going to just put this in the chat. Now I have to figure out how to put a note in chat. I want to chat. I can't see. Oh, maybe it's down at the bottom. It's not showing me how I can chat. That is so bizarre.
All I can see is I can't get on those other screens, but all I have is the Google chat. But
I know Philip has done this. I haven't ever tried to.
Yeah, I think all they have, if anybody's interested, they just need to type in mystical time master, and it's the first thing.
Yeah. Anyhow, it's nice because you get the whole message and the image, you get the whole thing. And I think it's something that's really worth looking at and thinking about, because if you think time is linear, it implies that you can't really impact your past or future, and you can't.
Yeah.
You can change your past in the way you perceive it. Yes. And that changes everything. Or you can change your view of the future.
Yeah.
And that changes everything. And then we have the opportunity, as we do that, we can open to really more being in harmony with our soul's plan, which didn't include being hung up. I don't think it included being hung up on time, because I guess obviously it could be that we came to clear all of that up. But it's very profound to think about it.
Yeah, I like that. I don't know if I can read it here, but it says, all the treasure magically reveals itself when you remain relaxed and present to what is directly in front of you and nothing else. Then you realize you have all the time in the world. You will never run out of it.
Right.
Um,
Yeah.
I love that. That it's this essence. This is like this sense again. For me, it brings it back again to just that sense of being able to trust that we're held in love, that we're the universe, God, source loves us, we're held in love, because then we can relax in this present moment. But if I feel like I have to control things, if I have to um manage things, then it feels like then of course I'm scared, because I'm just I am in my mind just the little me. But when I'm in the present moment, I'm connected to source. I'm
Right.
that bigger
Right.
truer self,
Hmm.
which in that point, yeah, you've got all the time in the world because you're eternal.
Right.
You're a part of source. There is nothing to, there's nothing to worry about. There's just these things to experience and life to live. And
Hmm.
yeah. A-
Yeah.
and we just work with our little self, those memories, the past, and if people don't believe in past lives, that's okay. We've all had stuff even in our childhood, in our past, in
Hmm.
this life. If the childhood hurts and traumas, those can all get healed, and they
Hmm.
be, and that 100% does affect your present moment. Um,
Right.
those unhealed hurts.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah,
Right. And if you think of it just in terms of now, like to think, well, now I'm feeling like I'm never going to have time for all these things I need to do.
yeah,
Well, then it might be time for the violet flame.
yes,
It's
yeah.
like, because, and it is interesting at the time when we connected with our source, the source of our wisdom in our hearts, Philip and me. Uh, I was around 40, and I was thinking, well, gee, I graduated from college and then I went and started working, and I've been working all these years, and there are things that I put off thinking, well, next year, next year, next year, next year, some other time, like I don't have time now. And one of them was that I wasn't doing any art projects, which I really love to do. And so I decided to take control, and I decided I would set aside some time.
Mm-hmm.
And what I found is when I did that, and I say this often about it, it's like the waters parted, like Moses or something. The waters parted and the time was there. It wasn't like I didn't have it all. I had it all the time.
Mm-hmm.
But if we don't believe we have it, we don't have it. It
Correct.
doesn't show up for us.
Right. Yeah.
Life is kind of crazy that way.
Yeah.
Um, Anyhow, I think that when we can stop in, in the moment and look at, okay, where am I now?
Mhm.
What is this place that I'm in? Where is it taking me? Like, oh, nothing ever works out. Look at all these horrible things that are happening in the world. Everything's going to fall apart. Nothing will ever work. Where do you think your future, you're creating your future. You're a creator. Where do you think it's going to go?
Yeah. Yeah.
Versus here I am in the circle of love and light, um, wanting to lift my spirits and support others in doing it, and making the world a better place, knowing that love can change everything for people.
Yes.
um, I see a very different future.
Yeah, for sure. And I do love, I was thinking about just that little term, the circle. Like it's not this time bound thing, it's this circle.
Hmm.
Um,
Right.
love and light. That's
Hmm.
a beautiful metaphor of a way to be in this present moment. Like remembering
Hmm.
that we're in this circle, we're in this place, being held in love and being held in light, and we don't have to go outside to figure out and to go further, and I don't know, further in time, or further in, like, what I need to do and hustle to become something else. You know,
Hmm. Right.
it's okay to be right here, right now.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Because we weren't here to be anyone.
Yeah.
other than who we are. In fact, we have something special to offer that no one else can.
Right.
And if we are in denial of that, really we're not honoring the gift that our magnificence wants to share with the world.
Yeah.
It just doesn't. A lot of the way we or approach things is really not not productive, even just on the the basic physical level.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyhow, you ready for the meditation?
Sure. Sure.
I did want to mention again, uh, we do start the circle every week with the breaths. And I think that anytime, if you have that goal during the day that you want to have a magical moment here and there, just realize that, or whatever it is that's enticing to you, I don't want to assume that that's what you want. Um, just when you get to that place of recognizing it, it's like, oh, what the magical moment. You can even create reminders for yourself, but
Mhm.
um, take those 3 breaths. Breathe in the most amazing qualities you can imagine in that time, and bring yourself into your body because it's a place that you want to be in. It's not a place to fear. It's like being in my body is a good thing.
Right.
And then there are, I guess that brings up another thing. There are reasons for people to fear being in their body. And then that would be something to clear with the violet flame. Like, why am I afraid to be here in the moment? So um, we're going to do something we've done in the circle before, and it's just a really wonderful thing. We go out into the universe where we're beyond the mass consciousness thought forms and beyond the limitations of time and space, so that we can, and we'll do some clearing with the violet flame and look at what's possible for us there.
Sounds amazing.
Okay, so can start as we often do, closing your eyes, and we're going to take a few of those wonderful breaths. Again, bringing ourselves more into our bodies in the moment, breathing in the most amazing light and love from the universe around us. And there are beings of light who are here ready and waiting to send this energy to us, to send us more love, to send us more light, magic, whatever it is that we want. So just breathe it in. And as you exhale, release again any energy that doesn't feel comfortable to you now, any tension you notice in your body. And you can ask any energy that is not your own to leave your space. This is something it's your power, it's a power you have with your intention. You just have to intend to send all the energy that's not your own, that's in your space, back where it came from. And I generally start meditations with this also because that creates more space for your own energy. So we're sending it back to other people, places, and times lovingly. And then we just naturally bring more light in. We likewise leave bits of ourselves in other times, places with other people. So you can ask to bring back any of those. Bring back yourself, as much of yourself as you can in this moment. And just feel, you might feel as you do that, more present in your body. And of course, as Bab says, this is the place where we can open to the love in our hearts and just be really present to who we are. So breathing that love in your heart, opening to that light. There's a light in your heart. Breathing energy into it and having that light of love expand out around you. Actually filling your whole body with it, all the cells, and radiating out, filling your whole ball of light with it. So you feel lighter. And as you feel lighter, you can start to imagine that you can float upward. And for this, we also want to invite Archangel Michael to be with us, to protect us and keep us safe on our journeys. And we can invite Archangel Metatron, who is an angelic being of divine light, who can help us to lift our spirits as we rise. So we're going to rise up into the sky, and we're going to poke through the atmosphere so that we're out beyond the mass consciousness thought forms, which are always dragging at us. And as we go out into like a free zone in space, you could say, we're just going out into the universe, into the stars. You can feel that there's a weight that's been lifted from us. And just notice how this feels. It's quiet. There's a quietness, maybe something you've never experienced before. So quiet and still. And you can move in any direction. You can fly, you can spin, you can do whatever you want out here. You can greet the stars. And an archangel I often invite here, or I think what I'll do is invite an enlightened master. So there is an enlightened master who actually can support us in this journey out in the stars. And just sense that master around you now. The one that comes to mind for me is Commander Ashtar, he's an ascended master from another place, who is here to support us in actually being, or opening to our our true opportunity, which is to be citizens of the universe, which we can do when we're out here in the stars. Archangel Orion is here too. So there are so many beautiful beings of light. Archangel Orion he's an archangel who is from another place and just recently came to support humanity. He's also connected with manifesting. And from this place, actually, of freedom out in the stars, there's so much more that's possible. And at the same time, we might feel that we're just carrying limitation with us, so we can invite the violet flame to surround us as we open to that freedom that we all really desire. So now, just for a few moments, imagine surrounding yourself with the violet flame. And again, just like everything else, I always figure you can ask for the most perfect violet flame for you. The violet flame is not hot. It's a cool flame, but it clears away distortions in your energy field and in your body. So you can invite it to surround you. It transmutes. It's like alchemy, transmutes lower vibrations into love and joy. And whenever you sense that you're being dragged down by something, maybe you take those 3 breaths and you think, well, gee, I still don't feel that great. Just invite the violet flame to surround you. The archangel who's associated with the violet flame is Archangel Zadkiel, and his complement is Holy Amethyst, the female side of Zadkiel, you could say. And amethyst is a beautiful reminder that all of the shades of violet in an amethyst and the sparkling points on it, you can just imagine. And sparkling energy, sparkles actually, they break up things. You can put sparkles in your violet flame too. And of course, the ascended master associated with the violet flame is Saint Germain. Can invite any of them to support you or all of them. All that's required of us is to be in a place of pure intent, of good intent, and a desire to receive truth, to leave the ego behind and open to the divine. And as you do this, what I'm sensing now is the stars are becoming brighter. It feels really good. And when I started using the violet flame a while back pretty regularly, what I started noticing is I would use the violet flame for some time and then not very long, it'd be less than 5 minutes. And then I would start feeling really happy. And I'm actually feeling really happy now. There's something about it. It does transmute, like I said, into love and joy. So there's this kind of light, light happiness that emerges from it. And it's available for everybody. It wasn't always this way for humanity. There were times when these kinds of energies were misused to such a degree that they were withdrawn from our awareness as a possibility. But now they are here, and we have that opportunity actually to accelerate our growth in amazing ways because of it. I'm curious, Babs, if you want to share anything you've noticed being out in the universe and the violet flame and everything.
Yeah, I just am sensing just this, especially when you said let the ego go, let ego go. Just this beautiful awakening. This even like wings, and just I was in a cocoon of purple
Mm,
light, and all the beings there, but letting go of that little ego allows us to really soar into places that we haven't gone before,
hmm
and just allows us to be free and joyful and light. Just that
Right.
light and love, and just yeah, just very beautiful, peaceful,
In the
joyful
moment.
in the moment. Yeah, yeah, just very much. Yes. Yeah, it's beautiful.
Mm. And it is from this place then to notice how your timeline feels, how your future feels in terms of possibility and what might have been dragging you down earlier. Maybe it's not there anymore. And that's the value of going through a process like this. And if we can validate in our own minds that this is easy, that we can go out beyond the mass consciousness thought forms. And it is said there are people with ideas like the mass consciousness thought forms go out 70,000 feet from the earth or whatever. I'm not as concerned about that as I am with the possibility that we actually can go above that. We can go beyond that in our own perspective and be in that place of freedom, which is actually the you could say the theme of the Aquarian age that we're moving into is freedom. And I haven't encountered anyone yet who at least told me they weren't interested in freedom when I talked about freedom. What about you, Babs, when you think of freedom?
Yeah, I think limit when you were talking about the timeline, it's kind of like that timeline that was flat for me just kind of disappeared or crinkled up and was put to the side, and just limitless possibility.
Mhm.
It's the word that came to mind, is limitless
Mhm.
possibility, but not like I'm striving for it or that we're
Right.
striving for it, that it's just in this moment, there is limitless possibility.
Mhm. Right.
But when I get back sucked back into that timeline, that finite timeline, even though that's where I live, like there this part of me can always be in limitless, in there's limitless possibilities
Mhm.
in this moment.
Mhm. And we can also, there's an idea of anchoring. We can anchor it, which means that we can create for ourselves a way to remember
Mhm.
what it's like here, like just imagining yourself again out in space surrounded by the stars and just close your eyes and see the stars around you
Yeah.
to return to it, or just the beautiful blue color of being out, or whatever color it is for you, being out in space. Fill your body and surround yourself with that color again and
Mhm.
just be in that same state again. And with anchoring, the more often we anchor something, especially shortly after we have the original experience, the more powerful it becomes. So we actually can then recreate the experience during those 3 breaths. We can come back here if we want. I think I'm going to remember that, just the feeling of being out in the stars and surrounding myself with this beautiful blue, kind of midnight blue color that I see around me. And knowing I'm surrounded by such beautiful, magnificent beings of light who are, they are here for us, all of us, when we come to them with that pure intent, when we set the ego aside, when we're open to learning, higher learning, way high, higher learning. They're here. So I want to thank all of the beings of light who are around us. We can start to bring ourselves back down, just gently floating back down through the atmosphere. It feels like we can create a, I feel like when you're out in space, you can create this protective bubble around you to to keep away the mass consciousness thought forms. Just floating down back into your seat where you are resting, your body is resting with your feet firmly on the ground, being supported by Mother Nature, by Mother Earth, who also loves you and sends love up through your feet. And then breathing in more active energy, returning to your normal waking state. And taking your time, whenever you're ready, you can open your eyes.
Whew. Take a moment to come back. You. That was beautiful.
Oh, that was fun. I like that.
Ah. Raziel often comes back, comes with me. He comes, sends me a rainbow slide to go come back
Yeah,
with.
he's
with
wonderful.
it was a tube. So when we were talking about protection from that mass consciousness, it felt like it was
Hmm.
more like going through a tube, a rainbow back to my body, so that I can, well, so that I can really ground that sense of limitless possibilities in this moment.
Hmm.
That keeps me out of fear. It keeps us out of fear. Keeps us out of.
Right. Yeah, they can't be in both of those places at one time.
Yeah, yeah, and just
Not that you would want to.
no, no, but yeah. Yeah, I think I have some amethyst. I'm gonna go find, I think I have a little amethyst jewelry. I need to go find, I'm gonna put my amethyst on today.
Yeah. Yeah, I have an amethyst bracelet. I often wear that. And I also have a picture of Saint Germain I keep right
Mm,
here.
yeah.
He is one of the
Amazing.
ascended masters who's most connected with helping us to rise into this new age that we're moving into.
Amazing.
And this is from the Keepers of the Light oracle. This picture, I love it because
Mhm.
the cards on this oracle, you can see them. They're looking at you, and you can feel their
Mhm.
presence. It's kind of like just I
Yeah,
see his eyes looking at me.
yeah, it's true. Yeah,
Really beautiful.
yeah.
So here he is. I have him as often as I want here.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's interesting. My sky was also a very sapphire blue, dark.
Yeah, such a beautiful blue.
Yeah.
So you can just surround yourself with that blue again anytime.
Yeah. I have some up kind of in my walls, so I'll have to look at my walls and think of that.
Hmm.
Space,
Yeah.
space, limitless possibility.
Hmm.
Cool. Yeah.
So if you're out here with us, just remember what this feels like. If it's something that is taking you to a different place than where you often find yourself, knowing that you can do something different.
Yeah.
I
It
think
is.
sometimes we're not sure that it's possible. And also remember that this is a release. It's not a duty. It's not it's not difficult. It's actually just letting go of all of these illusions and the weights that we have on us, like we're
Mm,
carrying a ball and chain around with us or something. We
yeah.
don't have to.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just again, like we were talking earlier, remembering who we truly are,
Mhm.
remembering the magnificent being that we truly are.
Mhm.
Each of us.
Right. Yeah.
A little.
And also I think again, remembering when things seem difficult that obstacles are opportunities.
Mhm.
And if the best thing you can do, or that I think you can do, is to imagine and tell yourself, well, this is going to come out much better than I thought. I'll be interesting. I'm going to just go with the flow of it and see what happens,
Yeah. Yeah.
rather than saying, oh no,
Oh, Michael
life
Singer.
as I know it is over. Maybe
Yeah.
it is in a good way.
Michael Singer says that a good mantra in times like that is, I can handle this. I can handle this. Instead of saying, oh
Hmm.
my gosh, I can't handle this. I can't handle this. That's one of the
Right.
things that we
Yeah.
often pop out of our mouths.
Yeah.
But no, I can handle this. And
Hmm.
know that there's something amazing on the other end.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, if everything happens for a reason, which I firmly believe it does,
Yeah.
even the difficult things,
Yeah.
we're here to find the rainbow, I guess, at the other end.
Yeah. I know in my
That's
own
what
life,
I figure,
yeah.
anyhow.
Yeah. I struggled a lot with anxiety and depression about 15 years ago. To the point where it was got really bad. Couldn't get out of
Hmm.
the house, and um, but that journey led me. But that experience has led me on a journey that I wouldn't change. I wouldn't trade that anxiety. I wouldn't trade that depression for anything,
Hmm.
because I have this whole life now. But it was hard. But and I found people to support me. So
Hmm.
people to support you, people who you resonate with, people that you can walk with on the journey, um, and and walking through it. There is this life beyond that, the heart
Right.
pain.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think you brought up another really important point, which is also part of the circle and the opportunities that we have, is that we need to have companions on the journey.
Yes. Yeah, we do.
And there are different ways to find those people. That's something that we take very seriously, I think, in all of the programs that we teach,
Yeah.
is to, we feel, and many people who take the program say that one of the things that they value most about it is the opportunity to make connections with like-minded people, which they wouldn't have otherwise.
Yes. 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know
Yeah.
that for me, having gone through several awakenings courses, that's one of the best things, just the people, and knowing you're not alone on this journey, knowing that there are other people who want to get out of the mass consciousness, and people who can maybe who are a step or two, who've walked, just they're not better than you or anything else, but they just have had more experience, and they can be like a light, a guide. um,
Hmm.
they can help
Right.
along the
Companion.
a companion, yeah, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, somebody, yeah, and it's important to
Hmm.
those
Yeah,
people.
for sure. I
Yeah.
know, just with the some of the things that I've experienced personally in recent years, if I didn't have people who could support me, I wouldn't have been able to get through them. So it is, and I mentioned before with the thing about being burned at the stake, that those kinds of things won't come into our awareness until the soul feels that there's a way for us to resolve them. So if you don't if you don't create those opportunities to resolve them in whatever ways that might be possible, then you might just continue to be stuck, unfortunately. Um, so it's worthwhile to seek community, to seek well, perspective. I think like that's why the circle is here.
Yeah.
There's nothing about it that's restrictive, or it doesn't require anything of anybody other than providing an opportunity to open to something that might really change things for you. I like doing it. It changes things for me.
It does.
And starting the week with it. We
Mhm.
do it on Sunday for a reason, because it's a way to start the week on a high note,
Yep.
and whatever you're envisioning for the week, to do it from that high note place.
Yeah. Yep.
Wow, our time is all
Our
up.
I know, but we got to pull out the globe. We got to pull out our little globe and send that
Okay,
out.
just 1 minute with the globe.
1 minute with the
We're
globe because we gotta send that out to everybody. There it
Yes.
is.
Of course, we're radiating whatever it is that we're vibrating anyhow, but our intention of sending light out to the world is a powerful one. And we all know there are places that really need it. There are people who are struggling. There may be people struggling in your house, in your community, people you can send love to. Can send love to the whole community, to whole places that are struggling. So, Babs, would you like to share how people can find out more about you and what you're doing?
Yeah, they can. The best way to get in touch with me is through my website, which is purplelotuscollective.com. So purplelotuscollective.com, all in one word. Yeah, purplelotuscollective.com. I'm
Wonderful.
also on Facebook, but I'm not there much. You can find me at PLC Babs on Twitter too. I'm on Twitter pretty regularly and on the Discords and stuff like that. And so welcome anybody to get in touch with me if they want to learn about, how to just continue to grow in their being and find out who they truly are, helping our blocks get away from, removing those blocks that are keeping us from remembering who we are. So,
Right. Yeah. Thank you.
yeah, thank you.
So, for Awakenings Institute, we have a free resource kit for light workers, spiritual healers, and way showers that you can access on our website. We also have a program starting on Tuesday, where is our year-long healing, coaching and healing program, which includes creating those spiritual relationships and learning all kinds of healing techniques. Anyhow, that's starting Tuesday, and the website is gettingthrough.org, which is gettingthrough.org/life-coach. That's for that one. For the spiritual kit, gettingthrough.org/spiritual. It's on that page. And you could also go to tinyurl.com/spiritual-kit. So there are a few choices for you. And we always are open to talking to anyone who's looking for solutions for their life and wants to heal and grow in wonderful ways. So feel free to contact us. You can also support the circle, which we greatly appreciate, by following our page on Facebook at facebook.com/awakenings circle. You can share this video with your friends, which is also helpful in getting the word out. And you can invite your friends to join you in the circle, and just share insights that you have and experiences that you have together. So that's it for us. The final thing we do is just send all that love and light out to the coming week. Just filling that week. So again, you're looking at your timeline, having this wonderful, miraculous, whatever week you're looking for. Joy and ease. I love joy and ease as a theme. Lots of love out there. And thank you for joining us. Have a wonderful week.
Thank you.
See you again next time, hopefully.